Welcome back to West Coast Goldies. It was like 15 degrees Fahrenheit last night. So let's check if my pond fish are still alive. Um, wow. What is going on? Our pond is down like, what is that? 8 inches? Um, this is weird, but it's still running. Oh my goodness. I think that filter froze and busted and was leaking water. So we lost some water. Thankfully, everything's still running. It's still cycling water through. But it looks like that filter failed in the cold. Our heater, even, I think it got too cold for that. It's not even working. So I'm gonna grab my thermometer real quick and we'll see how cold this is. This is half frozen. How thick is this? Oh, that's pretty thick. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, at least our fish here are alive. They're just chilling because it's really, really cold. And then I saw Peach over here. Where'd she go? She's right there. I saw a hint of orange. Let's make sure she's okay. Oh, I can see her. She's down there. There, see, right there. Peach is chilling at the bottom. Man, this is weird though. Let's take a look at how did this filter fail. This is weird. I didn't think that with the water running through this, it would do that, but I mean, 15 degrees, pretty cold. Let's see. 18 Fahrenheit the water is. The only reason this isn't frozen is because it's moving so much, which is usually my plan with my air stones, but even my air stones are, yeah, see, my air stones are totally frozen. That's usually what keeps it from freezing. We're gonna fill this back up with not warm water, but even the cold water from the tap inside is gonna be warmer than this. And so I'm not concerned about it shocking the fish because it's still gonna be cold. And there's probably 300 gallons left. I think we probably only lost about 100 gallons, so shouldn't change the temperature enough to shock them getting a lot warmer. But I think, what did we say, 18 Fahrenheit water. If we fill it back up, we'll see if we can gain a couple degrees and make everything keep working. This is crazy though. I don't know how we lost so much water through that filter. I thought maybe some evaporation, but weird. Yeah, note to self, try not to leave your water change hose outside full of water. It's totally frozen. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I'm gonna have to try running some hot water through first and see if it clears it out. Oh man, I don't know if it will. Let's get the hot water to here first. Okay, the water's hot. Let's see if it'll, no, too much pressure. Wow. So our water change hose is completely clogged. The regular garden hose is unhooked with the, insulator bib on it. So I'm gonna have to take that hose inside, probably soak it in the shower till we get it to melt before we can use it. So while the water changer's inside warming up, there's something very important we gotta do, okay? Something very, very important. Oh, come on. Give me a good piece. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh yeah. Listen to this. Amazing. Let's do that again. This is the content you've been waiting for. I know it is. I know it is. No! This hurts the hand, though. This really hurts the hand. Oh, yeah. No more of that. Oh, my fingers! This is Tomato and our guy here getting their JY Aquarium pellets, as usual. Yeah, it's nice and green. Now, I know most people might say, oh my goodness, that tank is so dirty. But you probably know how we do it around here. That algae in the water, that amount, not harmful for the fish, can even keep the water cleaner longer because it's eating up the nitrates. And actually, I mean, I've read a bit about when growth can be better in green water like that. I don't know how it works or how you'd even prove that that works, but that's what they say. With everything that's going on today and how cold it's been this week, I'm really glad I haven't fed my pond fish in several weeks because if they had any food left over in their gut, when it's this cold, they basically stop digesting. And if you feed them this time of year, or if they have leftover food in their system when it's this cold, it'll kind of like, it'll rot in their stomach, just like food will rot when you put it on the counter. Their pellets will rot in their stomach because they'll stop digesting them when it's this cold. And that obviously is not good for them and can kill them. So I think it's pretty much the same with koi. Not 100% sure, but people with goldfish ponds, when it's cold, really cold, you don't feed them at all. When it's going to be really cold, you taper off the food, slow it down. I stop feeding my goldfish pretty much when it's under 55 degrees Fahrenheit, no more food. If it gets up to 60, I'll give them a little bit. I haven't bought any wheat germ food specifically, but Goldfish Corner on YouTube, his channel recommends wheat germ based products for easy digestion when it's a little colder, but you still want to feed them a little bit. And then if they're really hungry when it's below 55 Fahrenheit, that's what the duckweed and the algae and the Java moss I have is for. They can munch on plants, and those are easy to digest, and it gives them a little something. But that's also why it's important to pack on the food, not too aggressively now, but pack on the food in the summertime, because from what I've read, like other animals, goldfish will use their fat reserves from the summertime to make it through the winter. So if you starve them in the summer, they're probably going to starve to death in the wintertime when they can't eat at all. But nobody's dead yet. I'm really surprised. If it ices over, they stop getting that oxygen exchange and they'll suffocate. But with the water movement and my air stones, how I want them, they're still getting air and they're still moving and even swimming around a little bit. It didn't get this cold last year. This is the coldest it's gotten for the pond fish since I've got them the last like 3 years. So our friend Peach is moving around a little bit, twitching. Friends over here relaxing. I almost wonder, like, should I investigate this filter? But whatever went wrong, I think it's fixed. Oh, you know what? Yeah, see, the ground is all wet here. It's ice crystals. So I definitely think this somehow failed and was letting water out. But for whatever reason, it's not now. So I feel like I shouldn't mess with it and just fill this up and see what we're working with. But it's interesting, you can see it let out water pretty slowly because there's like layers in the ice where it went down a little bit, started to freeze, went down more, froze as the water level went down. See, like that's floating right there. Very interesting. But still waiting for our water changer to warm back up so we can fill this up and see where we're at. All right, it's taken like a half hour for my water changer to thaw out. We're gonna put it in. I'll just add a dash of water conditioner because I feel like any amount of chlorine So this much water volume is not going to make a difference. But I'll add a little bit to be safe, and we'll fill this up with just cold water and see where we get from there. And we'll see how much it changes the temperature too. So in case you're wondering just how cold it is outside, my phone, like, I didn't stop that time lapse. The time lapse stopped because the phone got so cold it shut off. So that's how freezing it is outside. But we got our pond filled back up, completely filled back up. The water I spilled here is already frozen solid. And for some reason, I need to get a drop-in thermometer because when I tried to take the temperature with my laser, it wasn't working for some reason. So I do want to know exactly how cold it is in there. And I emptied the water this time so that this will not freeze. Okay, it's now the evening time. It's like 4 p.m. on Saturday, and the water level is going back down in the pond. So I'm gonna have to tear into that little filter because I think I saw water trickling down from it. So I think that's where we're losing water. And I'm gonna make a run to, well, I don't want to, but I also really want to make a run to PetSmart or something and just pick up a thermometer. Because I looked back at the footage and realized my little laser thermometer is not working. And it said 180 something instead of, I thought it said 18 Fahrenheit. So I want to go get an actual thermometer I can leave in and check, because I want to keep track of what temperatures my fancy goldfish can survive out there. Yeah. All right, I shut it off, and I think we gotta make this pretty quick because we don't want our system, any of these pipes, to freeze when they're stagnant, because then we won't be able to get this all started again. So let's take a look-see here. Yeah, it's definitely wet underneath. This is definitely where we're losing water. I imagine, oh, come on. Oh, this is stuck here. Come on. Don't make me do it. I imagine I might have to just clean this out and see how we can get a better seal on this gasket. So I don't know what the issue is right now. Well, I guess that's frozen shut. I'm gonna let the water drain. And I might end up taking this inside and actually just washing it out in the bathtub to melt on all the ice, and then put it back together and hope that the rubber gasket makes a better seal this time. Okay, we're back. We washed out this filter, and I actually, I feel pretty good about this. There were some little cavities around where this fits together to create a tight seal that had filled with ice, and I think when it froze, it expanded and it pushed it up just enough to make a little bit of an issue for us. So we're gonna put this back together and see how we're faring. Okay. And I'm gonna put it up on a brick this time. Oh, this is all frozen. I'm gonna put it up on a brick so it's a bit easier to see if we have a water leak, easier to see the drip. Got a second brick here. Oh yeah. Okay. I think we're good to start this puppy back up. And just since I went inside and washed it, ice is forming on the surface right here. See, look at that. Right there. That was not there a second ago. Neither is that. That's a cool piece of ice forming like a starfish. So let's turn this back on. Right here. Bingo. And it usually always takes a minute to fill that. And there's never a bad excuse to clean out the filter anyways. So Got a bunch of gunk out of it. And, oh, it's dripping. You can see the leak. Why is it leaking? See that? There's our leak. That's pretty slow. So I think the problem is whatever mechanism controls the flow in and out in the lid part. When I held the lid part out to clean it, I could shake it and you could hear a bunch of ice inside of it. So I think something's impeding the flow in this lid part, and it's building up pressure, more pressure than it's meant to deal with at the seam, and then it's leaking out. So at the risk of destroying electronic parts in the top of this lid, I think if I want this to work right, I have to take this out and take the lid and soak it in warm water to melt all the internal ice. And then it should flow better and it should make less pressure so this doesn't leak. Because otherwise, you know what? I'm also tempted to just, before, this is a filter here, I could just hook up that end to our UV and cut this out of the circuit of water flow for this freeze. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. I might leave it for now and decide. It's a really slow leak. No, actually, it's leaking faster than before almost. All right, this big moment of truth here. I took the top off. I took it inside. I soaked it in warm water. I saw a drip. Please don't leak. It's leaking. I can see it's leaking already. That is so weird. Something about the cold weather has completely ruined the seal on that canister. I mean, I can't be mad. It's not like that's made to go outside in these conditions. It's crazy. It took me 5 minutes max to wash the top of that. And look how much more ice formed. This is literally just like 5 minutes later from when I showed you that other piece of ice starfish forming, and now it's building up. So it's really important that this all stays on and running for the health of the fish. That's dripping a lot. I can see it from here. It's dripping a lot. Oh, man. Yep, you can see it actually dripping down the side. Shoot. Well, I'm going to have to, yeah, I'm going to have to run that tube. Hopefully it reaches. I'm probably going to have to move the bucket closer. Or this tube might reach. I might have to, yeah, I'll probably disconnect that tube there and put it on the pump and move the bucket closer. But because everything is freezing so fast, I need to do this quick. So I'm just going to set the camera down and do it. So this is very bad. I mean, I got some extra tubing that I had to just hook that up to this, but it's so cold and frigid that literally snapped as soon as I tried to put that tube in it. So this is gonna be a lot more difficult. I think I'm gonna have to, hopefully I have enough tubing. I might have to go to the store. Oh, this is terrible. I need to go to the store, get a piece of extra long tubing, and run it from that filter straight to our heater, because our UV filter is now out of commission. So I gotta work quick. This is not good. Well, that was a disaster. Maybe a fun disaster. Well, it's fun if I look back, because now it's over, as long as everything works right. But I'll explain what happened. I was just gonna run, because that's totally ruined. For now, I might try it again in the summertime. So I was gonna run my tube straight from the pump filter box to the UV filter. As soon as I touched the end of the UV filter, it snapped. Because it's so cold and so brittle out here, the plastic, literally, I barely touched it and it snapped. So then I was like, okay, goodness, I guess I gotta run the tube straight to the heater. Because what the heater did, as soon as I touched it, I didn't even get to do anything. And it snapped. Because it's just so cold, the plastic just can't bear under any pressure whatsoever. So thankfully, I had to take this tube, I had to put hot water in my bathtub to straighten this tube out because it was frozen, because it was in the shed. And I managed to successfully run it from the filter box over there to here. So we're once again circulating water. And it's actually a lot faster than before because there's not all those things in the way. And thankfully, I have extra drop-in heaters. So I'm gonna clean up the mess I made. Hopefully I can get replacements for those plastic end pieces, because this UV filter is a nice, really nice UV filter I got as a gift. But for now, I'm gonna put a drop-in heater. I keep extra, and it's not to keep the water warm, it's just to keep it from freezing over with the water movement in the small heater, just to take the edge off. But man, I'm relieved that it's just running again now. I am, well, the tubing didn't freeze up before, so it shouldn't now, but I'm still a little worried about that tube freezing solid. Hopefully the water is fast enough, but I think I have some extra like pipe insulation. I think I might put it on there just to feel safe when I'm sleeping, that it's not totally freezing solid out here. So I'm gonna drop my heater in and clean up the stuff and call it for today. I don't want to touch anything else before it breaks. Okay, we're all put back together. Man, crisis averted. That was close, but I am very, very sad about my UV filter and my heater. You can see the drop-in heater I put in, nice big one. And I managed to find some pipe insulation I had just to add a little protection. But whew, you know, if worse came to worse, I could put the pondfish inside. But such a low temperature, acclimating to like 70 inside, I could do it, but it would be more risky, that much of a temperature change, trying to acclimate them to the inside than just trying to leave them here. So, you know, if I was really desperate, I would move them inside, drip acclimate them inside. But thankfully we got it managed how it is now. Peach is the only one in this tank. I think she's doing well still, and everything's working. You can see the water that dripped from everything breaking is already frozen. It's only been 10 minutes. Wow. Fun stuff. Right when I thought I wouldn't have much to film this week, huh? So this definitely used up my fish time for the day. I'm gonna have to do my inside water changes tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna go buy a thermometer tonight because I really want to know how cold it's getting at nighttime. So all right, good morning. It's Sunday morning. It's like 8 a.m. about. I wanted to come out and check because like it's basically the coldest it's going to be right now. So I wanted to come. I bought a thermometer last night. I want to check the temperature in this tank and that tank and see exactly how cold we're getting. This is pretty iced over. I'll show you. So the bubblers and the water movement kept it from freezing over, but this is all pretty frozen. All our fish they're all alive. They're just, you know, chilling over here, trying to stay warm together, which is nice. I like the face first and the Java moss to stay warm. It's adorable. And my weather app says it's like 16 degrees right now. When I hold this out of the water, just kind of dangling, it says it's 18 degrees. Let's check out, dip this here like I'm fishing. Let's Let's see what this comes up to. Yeah, I think we got a good reading here. It says about 34 Fahrenheit in this tank. Let's put our thermometer over here. See if we got anything different. Again, we're at 33.8 in here. So I don't know what I was thinking with some of my other guesses for the water temperature. Because that seems like it's pretty much as close as it will get in this setup. Yep, so on this beautiful Sunday, I'm not going to be doing much more out here, so I need to do water changes inside at some point today. All right, I think we're ready to do some water changes. It's like 10:30. I think I'm just going to set up a time lapse of kind of all the tanks and see how long I can keep it running for, one nice long time lapse. I haven't been doing my my plan as far as the lights being on was to shut off lights when I'm not looking at them and just leave the carpet algae tank on a timer. But I keep forgetting every time I walk in here. I'm like, oh, I want to look at my fish. I turn on the lights and then I forget, and then they stay back on the timer routine, which is fine. But I want to see what difference it makes as far as algae on specifically the plants in the terracotta tank. I wouldn't be mad if I could get some less algae to grow in there. The Green Water Labs algae product that they sent me, it doesn't do nothing, I would say, but I wouldn't say it's like a huge difference. I think if somebody had a really bad algae problem that they were struggling with for a long time and had tried other stuff, it could be a good product to try out that might do something, because it does do something. It's just not like a heavy impact. But yeah, I'm gonna get started. Man, that took a while. So I'm probably gonna stop with those 3 for now. I'll probably come back later today and do half on my guppy shrimp tank. Yeah. All right, it's 10 p.m., which means if I expect to edit this video tonight for posting in the morning, then I have to do my last water change on our guppy shrimp tank. Yeah, so let's just do it. Okay, now that that's done, I gotta edit this up for posting. But I think the perfect way to end this video, there's a nice big sheet of ice on the pond. I think the perfect way to end the video is to smash that on the patio. So let's do that. Oh,